Hello and good morning, and it is a pleasure and a welcome to have you joining me this morning. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, my time. I help people heal their emotional mind and body by grace for today and a healthy future. I want to start talking about this. But how our mind overly protects ourselves, even after an emotional tragedy and devastation in our lives. And the method of the brain has a natural healing ability to protect us. And when our emotions get too much, the frequency from our emotions, the brain will kick in. And especially after a tragedy or devastation or the mind will shut down and realize that it's just much too painful for you to experience or to go through. So with that being said, remind you as young adults or adults, something could have occurred that we were lacking of, much less, or a tragic um, mishap in a young child's life, and a noise, a person, or a smell can bring that back. And way too often, I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, we will have little sparks that we just don't understand why we're so emotional and how we got so upset. But like I said, the mind does its job. It our emotional pain, through our emotional pain, it literally will help us so that we don't feel that any longer. And once you address it and you're aware of this, then that's when the healing process starts. That's where, of course, I have come in and actually helped people along with the process. And for confidential reasons, the children and the young adults overseas seem to be well acceptable to change and seeking, healing and reason and correction, and to make their life a better life for not just themselves but for others. And I'll remind you, that's how we heal. Once we heal, others start to heal, and but they're more acceptable to that, more so than us Americans. Unfortunately, some of us are quite uh, stubborn or lazy, and this is a process, and you have to have patience with yourself, because lots of times this all reflects into our years that we perceived our environment from the time we were born until we were 7, 8 years old, and patterns, when we learn and we pick them up, and they just end up making a repeat and everything. But the mind does its job very well, especially with emotions that we send that frequency to our brain, and our brain thinks that we can't handle it, and it will shut down. And unfortunately, like when children are left, for like example, the anger sadness, ego, the emotional experience, adrenaline gets going, and that frequency gets sent to our brain and tells us that, that we need to back down, and shuts off. And our memory, there's certain parts in our brain where the memory, it's just gone. And every now and then, the brain, it overreacts. And when there's constant conflict or constant emotions, that we're sending a signal to our brain that we simply can't handle, and if we can't balance that, then literally, technically saying, illnesses come out of this. And the message that we send to our brains is that we can't handle it. And it's the brain and the body, they have to work together. And when we're in constant conflict or stress, it sends us basically to be straightforward with you. Eventually, once it's constant and all the time, the brain knows that you just can't handle it. And sometimes things in life, we just keep saying it with our words, that we just can't handle this pain and the suffering anymore. So it does its job to try to protect us so that we're not suffering, and basically, it's straight up. To be quite honest with you, the brain gets to thinking, well, the only way that I can save this person is to end its suffering, is for that person to die, because life is just too much for that person to handle. So that's where illnesses come. And with every emotion, which that'll be an upcoming video, that'll be part 2. Each emotion affects each part of the body. And those first 7 or 8 years of our lives, our eyes, we perceive things, and that's how we end up seeing who we are, and our identity, and our environment, where we came from. And it's even how the doctors will ask you how your parents' illnesses were, because they were depressed all the time, or stressed, or whatever. It affects a certain organ. And of course, we are our parents, and it can go down from your mother to your grandmother, and ongoing. And of course, I take notes, and I'm a praying woman. I pray an awful lot. It doesn't even matter if I know what for or anything like that. I just pray, and I take notes, and I get this sense and this feeling that this may help somebody else out there, and we can connect, and just get to know what and why we have these fears. That it's everybody. Everybody can pinpoint that back when they were a child. And as we grow up into teenagers, which there's a huge epidemic out there, suicide, not feeling, worthy, and self-sabotaging ourselves with our words. And that's where we have to begin to change things, the way we speak. But, the turmoil that some of us go through, and our emotions, that's what we're sending into our bodies. And it does literally make you sick. And once you're aware, like I have a Facebook business page. I'm strictly confidential and nonprofit. I don't get paid. I get donations for channeling, but when it comes to face and the healing process, and pinpointing where we might have our boundaries that we don't even know that are there, and, it's literally like surgery. But constant sabotage, not even only what we do to ourselves, we do to others, and that's a very unhealthy way to live a complete life and have an abundant, happy, joyful life. And I've dedicated my life to helping anyone go through that process. And it's been a pleasure to the people that I've helped. And but we also have to remember that it's not our fault and it's not hopeless. And once we realize, we can go back into history, because if we don't know, our history can save us. And it's really a wonderful thing once you have that awareness of where it may have came from, and you can change that for the people before us, and especially for the people after us. I'm a grandmother, 48 years old, and I think this is the best time of my life, and but that's my opinion. And but you have to have patience for yourself and find mercy on yourself, because one thing I can tell you for sure, guilt is an emotion that can stretch on and be so stressful that guilt attacks every single organ in your body. And the constant repeat of healing, it's a practice. So, without patience, you don't have any faith. Faith and patience is two combined. So, I would like to let you know some more stuff. I do energy psychology. I've been in psychiatry for 3 years, and I am out to just bring the joy back into families' lives, and it's a great thing once it can be painful, and it's well worth it. You seek, you ask, and you put the effort and the patience and the repetitious time in the healing process, and there's a way to make it a whole lot easier for everybody that's involved. And it's just like a word. It's like a disease. It goes on and on and on. So, and we have a choice. We actually have a choice. We don't have to adopt the what we perceived as children, and we don't have to hurt. I mean, the Lord did not put us here to suffer constantly, because suffering constantly and over emotional, it just destroys that person and everyone around it. And I believe highly that we are in the greatest time ever, and that we are here to heal each other. And once again, I would like to say thank you so much for joining me this morning. Good morning. And you can contact me on my page, April Andrews, and email me. I'll leave the email down below, and please comment any questions, and I have more videos coming up soon. Once again, this is the Overprotective Mind, Part 1, and looking forward to seeing you in Part 2. Subscribe down below and ring the bell icon. When I get up and go and see you live, I'd love to have you join me. God bless. Namaste. Until later.